Lilith. What is Lilith? Lilith is the dark emotion, the black emotions, waters, muddy waters that have hidden thoughts that vibrate. So it's the subconscious mind. And you know the subconscious feed the conscious mind. And it's the third eye chakra when you got Lilith and Gemini. And the gemstone you can use to activate this energy is the tiger's eye. Lilith and Gemini, my secret world of subconscious deals with thoughts, being a free thinker, words, playing with words, and communication. Lilith and Gemini people love topics and no subjects, and their thoughts are liable to change. It's I who has this placement, King Lit. So little people who have Lilith and Gemini, they don't take anything seriously when dealing with thoughts. They love knowledge and information, and it's also their desire. They know that knowledge, perspective, and information can change. That's why they don't take anything seriously when talking about subjects or topics. I tell people, I don't take our conversation seriously. It's just a thought or idea. They actually think I be serious, but I don't. This because it's Lilith and Gemini. Lilith and Gemini people are always changing information and sharing it with others. They meet people easily and make friends easily. They definitely love to meet non-conformist type people and unusual type of people. Everyone is interesting to them. They want to know how people think. And this deals with the mind, thoughts, ideas, and communication. So people with this placement can stop interacting with people because of their fear of saying the wrong things to people. And they don't want to be considered as stupid to others. They like to observe people, and they are good at reading people and understanding people's reaction. They are misunderstood a lot, and others misinterpret what they are saying. So they others misinterpret what they're saying wrong, and people get offensive of them. This is why they often in conflict. But people with Lilith and Gemini don't mind playing the devil's advocate. They voice their opinions openly, and they don't care how others perceive them or what others think or feel. Some people with this placement have problems communicating, vice versa. Their communication skills can be so good that they use it against others. They speak aggressive at times. They have a strong desire to share their thoughts and being dominating in conversation without hearing the other person out. On the downside, Lilith with Gemini, double nature can feel rejected, very lonely, and feel like nobody understands them. They can be detached from their emotions. They are afraid of rejection. It hurts when people don't pay attention to them and their thoughts. They have many secrets. They are good at uncovering the real intentions of others. They're obsessed with knowledge. They have a quick mind and intuition. They want to discover and explore everything. They are curious. They have a very active mind. They're interested in taboo topics. They have a dark sense of humor that others may find cold and repulsive. They are a hunter for information. On the downside, people with Lilith and Gemini, they can trick others and easily fool others. They know what to say to get what they want. They can be manipulators. They're good at finding clues to people's problem, and they can use it against people. They can find a great avenue or a great talent when dealing with writing, speaking, journalism, using their hands, and anything that deal with movement and rhythm. They love the challenge, the norm or average. They are like a freedom-loving rebel and a great storyteller. They question everything. It don't matter who or what. Yes, they have a keen intellect and a sharp intuition. Their mind is like a whirlwind of constant thoughts, ideas, problem solving, solution finding, and seeking knowledge to satisfy their curiosity. It's hard for them to rest or stick with one idea. Their mind needs constant stimulation. They hate being bored. They have a clever ways of manipulating and tricking people on the downside. They need change, new lovers, new friends, new thoughts, new people to call brother or sister, new ideas, etc. So A new experience is pleasure to them. They love to text, get on the phone, email, spilling stories, telling stories on social media. Their mind is their greatest weapon. They are telepathic. They have telepathy power. They're good at reading people's mind and picking up on people's thought. When Lilith is in the 12th house of Pisces, when your subconscious, your black emotions, is in the 12th house of the spiritual realm, which is Pisces, in the subconscious, people with this placement feel pulled by powerful forces beyond the physics world, and they struggle to be in the material world or grounded. They need to establish boundaries because they're sensitive. They're very sensitive, and emotions is very strong when dealing with these people, which they need to control. This house is a challenge for them, regardless if it's their emotions or the people's emotions or energy they receive or pick up. They shift energies, also shift the energies in nature. They pick up on energies like that. Spiritual forces they pick up. So they're constantly struggling with the spiritual realm, with energy, with spirit. They try to bury their traumas or escape it that they experience. How Lilith in the 12th house people win in this lifetime is by taking control of their Lilith, their dark emotions, their subconscious, or hidden emotions, mind, instead of letting it control them. And that's through divine principles, therapy, and spiritual practices that bring them clarity and structure. And of course, this is my placement, Lilith in the 12th house of Pisces. They need to confront their emotional wounds with compassion, love, turn it from bad to good with care and gratitude. These people are psychic empaths and clairsentient naturally. Mysterious people, sensitive, and are receptive to energy around them. They are here to detach from things, circumstances, and toxic emotions. They have a tendency to help others. They have a need for introspective, always observing themselves, what they're doing wrong, what they're doing right, introspective. They can be afraid of the supernatural world or spirit, but they are more receptive to the supernatural than most people or souls. They don't like being alone and have a tendency to become a victim. They can fall prey for manipulation. They can overly idolize people they first meet. And their subconscious mind also can get the best of them, especially when dealing with toxic people and people who don't have their best interests. Because always people around, I don't know why they always be around people who are toxic and people who don't have their best interests. They can even be in love affairs that isn't for them and use sex as escape. They can detach themselves from people when under stress. They are prone to being in a trance all the time, falling in trance, daydreaming. I do that a lot. They can run away from their problems and get into addictions such as drugs, sex, or illegal activities or pleasure-fulfilling activities. They have a deep interest in the occult or exoteric readings or teachings and the mysterious things. So the exoteric teachings, which they love, they are attracted to all divination, anything spiritual, and how spirit works. They're also interested in how the mind thinks and works. So psychology, spirituality, religious, etc. So people with this placement has psychic gifts and abilities. They are sensitive to the sufferings of others. I know I am, because this is my placement too. They are compassionate, nurturing, loving, and supportive, and can sacrifice themselves for the ones they love. But they also can be afraid of these things, and sometimes afraid of trusting their intuition. And they're afraid of being helpless. They could be dominating, and trying to maintain their power and strength, and they can have anxiety. They can be in secret love affairs and be the cause of scandals. This house can leak their secrets. They can be too self-righteous and be ashamed for having sex because their religion taught them that. They suffer from nightmares, mental illness, vivid dreams, and deja vu is the experience they can have. The 12th house can also mean hitting enemies, and they feel like forces working against them all the time or coming at them from every angle, saying the devil or God is against them. They think they've been hexed or have a spell put on them. They may build up resentment and paranoia, thinking spirits or people are out to get them. A lot of people with this placement was locked up or trapped in institutions like hospitals, prisons, and psychiatric wards. They feel like loners and love to isolate themselves from people. Lilith in the 12th house people has a strong sixth sense. I'm talking about psychic. And they can sense people's intentions, peep their actions, and read people like a book. Read people through what they feel, through what they see, through what they hear, and through what they know. They might have all the psychic gifts. So with this placement, they become frustrated people when dealing with love and romance, even when married and commitment, or being committed to someone. They feel like they're neutral or like they have many soulmates, not just one. So Lilith in the 12th house is connected to the darkest form of sex. Even some people have been raped, a victim of that, or performed that. Also, unwanted perverts, people who perverts or those who come at them who be perverts. So when they're around people, this take their mind. If they take their mind off their fears, they win. So usually they do that when they're around people. And that's why it's good for them to be around people, because they take their mind off their fears and they become popular and outgoing. They have to be in control of themselves and create light from darkness. And this is how they win. When Lilith is trying to Pluto, it's your dark emotion power. So Pluto gives Lilith power to control itself. So this means that my inner self and transformation forces would influence how my life will unfold. Lilith trying to Pluto, this is a gift. This is natural. It's a wild power, wild desires, wild sex, and sexual feelings. So people with this placement dive deep into the darkness of their subconscious, which uncover and exposing truths of all kinds. They become the chemists as they change and transform darkness to light. They must confront their emotions, their fears, and they is encouraged to remove any fears, past wounds, or trauma, of toxic patterning that stop their progress. They have to embrace their truth or realness and allow their wild side to guide their change and personal growth. They must embrace their power within and let their strong intuition or psychic gifts guide them. It's best if they use their spiritual power to align with their real self. They have a gift to face any challenges that comes their way and to overcome it. They have the power to evolve, and become their real self, their higher self. It's easy for people with this placement to assume the positions of power and authority, their confidence, their determination, and this makes them powerful. If they embrace their confidence and their determination and their drive, they're ambitious, and they embrace this power and they embrace their wild, strong intuition and instincts, this is how they win. They love their dark side and they have a good relationship with their hidden and dark side. They even like sitting in the dark to think and reflect. They want to experience the taboos of life and expose it. They're not afraid of things that others are afraid of or that others try to ignore. They have an unapologetic self-expression nature. They love sex. Their sexuality is very deep and powerful and different. People with this placement here, how do they win? They have to work on self-acceptance, accept themselves for who they are, and listen to their intuition, knowledge, which means claircognizance, psychic knowing gift that they have, and live by their own rules and standards while accepting other people for who they are also. These people are very emotional and creative. Lilith Trine Pluto means that their gift of creativity and of leadership is so natural and easy to these people that they slack and forget their gifts. The key to people with displacements is awareness. They got to be aware of their powers, their gifts, their creativity, They have to be aware of who it is and their ability to control themselves. They have the ability to control themselves through Pluto, and their gifts can help them be a legend for something great. This is a very powerful placement right here. When you got Lilith Trine to Pluto, this is their natural gift. This is what they're naturally good at. And Pluto getting the ability to control Lilith, the subconscious, to be aware, to dive deep, and to transform from their traumatic drama past to something beautiful. When Lilith is trying to the sun, when the black moon is trying to the hot vortex, which is the sun, which is spirit, when it's trying to that, just give them motivation, confidence. No matter if it's negative or bad, they will have a lot of strength. And if it's for the bad, it'd be very aggressive, like energy. So they will experience a lot, and they will overcome it. They got ability to shine their light and break the social norms. They're not the average type of people. So they'll be good at exposing truths, not scared to stand up for what they believe in. It's part of their subconscious. It's already in the back of their mind. They think of some of the darkest things there is. So they can love pleasure a lot. So these people are very spiritual. They explore their spiritual aspects, and they get into the esoteric knowledge. Because trying means an easy aspect. This is a natural gift. Them going into like spiritual practices, occult practices with confidence, with strength. And since it's easy aspects, they don't have no shame of what they do. It don't matter if it's bad or good. And they use what's bad and turn it into light and creativity and self-expression. And it's a powerful connection between their sexuality and their expression. They're very sensual. And any aspect they get into, no matter what it is, it could be. And so it's about inspiration to the youth, to the kids, so they can have a young spirit. And so they will just stay inner child more than ever. They have challenges with that. They'll be very wild, off the chain, the way they think, and try all type of stuff to explore, but they will change it into light eventually. So how these people win? They need that balance. Balance is the key because they ain't afraid to stand up against systems that don't work for the masses. So they seek fairness, and they always question religion and traditions, and because they want to pull out the truth and expose the truth and bring out the truth. And they're good with like uniting people, bringing inspiration to people. As long as they ain't selfish. Then to the ego aspects, they can go all out, like it's do or die type of energy. Because it's Lilith trying to the sun. Since it's easy aspects, they most likely would be on the upper side of Lilith. Because it's an easy aspect with the sun. So the sun get them confidence and empowerment and enlightenment to even conquer the Lilith aspect, the dark. So they don't stay in the dark too long. The light come out. So they very much into the intuitive knowledge. So this makes them claircognizant, where they receive downloads from the universe. It's like receiving downloads when the sun spark your brain. All this information, the sun giving out information, spreading its light. So not only they receive it, they spread it light upon others. So to make them also clairvoyants, because they're imaginative and dreamy, and they also could be very loving, because they want to see people unite and come together. So they got to be aware of their pleasure-loving spirit, because it could come very severe until they destroy themselves. It could be an issue. Because love pleasure so much. The wrong pleasures at that. It feels so good. No matter what they get into, it can destroy them. So they're very entertaining. Very entertaining. They get into any entertaining music, arts. They're very creative. They use this force to create their environment, to create who they be. So you got Lilith Trine to the sun. This is very powerful individuals. Very powerful. We talking about powerful. It's the leader, natural leader, magnetic force. And they love to shine. They don't mind shining. They are magnetic. This energy suck people in. It hypnotize people because it's so powerful. When people see the beauty of their nature, they love beauty. They love art. They love culture. They love who they be. They like beautiful things. And they don't mind working hard for it. And they're very ambitious and determined. So Above all, they don't like rules, following rules and standards. They quick to break that and live by their own truths. But this could be a placement of freedom, enjoyment, also, and they will stand out. And somehow they like to rebel against. They like to rebel against systems, against authority, and this could be a battle of authority, win or lose. But the thing is, the energy never stops. They always want to win. They never quit. So you got Lilith Trine to the Sun, and this is their natural gift: being creative, being a leader. Standing out, glowing, shining. Sparking their beauty, creating their reality, being a trendsetter, inventing something new, being unique. This is their gift of doing all of this, like to lead the mass, bring people together, bring inspiration to people. So with this being said, how they win, they need that balance. They need that balance, not to go overboard with the pleasure loving that can sabotage their whole life. And this is it. Because they got a lot of pride. Don't get too caught up in their ego, too deep into it. Balance it out, they'll be good. So they have to look in and listen to their intuition, their heart. Because this is most important. Their heart don't lie, always tell the truth. So inner security is very important to these people. So that being said, this is my placement. I'm definitely out of here. Ashe. It's a difference when you got Lilith trine to the sun, or trine to Pluto. But when you got Lilith square to the moon, and the sun is more like the conscious stage up front, awareness. The moon is your inner self, natural instinct, some stuff that had to happen naturally. So when you got your black moon square to the moon, there's going to be intense, powerful energy. Your emotions run very deep. I'm talking about to the depths of the soul. And this is one of my placements right here. This is one of my placements, and whoever had this placement, they can feel everything that's going on all around it. It's very receptive to energy. It's high vibrational, high intense energy. And they get a rush off their dark side. They get a thrill off criminal activity. They get a rush off was not normal. But also they can regret that and go through things to deal with that. So every feeling is very intense. It's evoking the energy of a person who like magical with creative powers. But also this placement gives people the ability to transform themselves at a wise level. It's giving wisdom. But by the energy being so intense and all this tension going on, it makes their emotions very unpredictable at times. Out of nowhere, it's unpredictable. So they need to stay grounded, and self-expression is needed. And they don't want to feel vulnerable, so they seal themselves off and keep secrets. They can't hold it though. This explode out of nowhere. Because this energy, when you got the black emotions that's going against the square against emotions itself, and emotion itself needs nurturing and caring. It needs the mother-like energy. So these people might feel a need to have people around them who are going to nurture them and care for them and mother them and don't want their independence. Or they might be more independent and feel like they don't need people who want to nurture them and care for them, so it's vice versa. The thing is, with this energy, 1 minute they can be good with their mother or women's, and the next minute they can like go through things that help them become a better person with their mother or the female energy, or learn about the woman energy. Or they can be very harsh towards women. So it depends on how it played out. That's why balance is needed here. So by me having this placement, I understand women. I love women. So Lilith, which is subconscious, is the dark, the hidden. It struggles with its emotions. The emotions are very intense. And this gives these people very strong psychic gifts and abilities of clairsentient, where they can feel everything around them. Sometimes they want to tune out, but sometimes they want to tune in. They get a drilling rush of destructive behavior, such as sex, gambling, addictions. And they can be into alcohol, drinking a lot, and deal with water. So these people here, it's important for them to release the emotional burdens and problems, issues that they're holding in. Because they don't do good holding a grudge or holding in hate for a long period of time, because it's uncommon among them. And if they do, it can be very explosive situation, very dangerous. It's the moon was nurturing it, and it's powerful force. So they love to fantasize about the most wildest adventures and the most dangerous situation, and they like living on the edge. They get a thrill of that because they struggle. They struggle to maintain their emotions, and this excite them. This get them the thrill. So once they learn how to balance themselves out and control themselves, they'll be good. When they learn about the situation, have awareness of what they get a rush about, and then realize that it's dangerous, they can change that and become wise. They get them wisdom about emotions, and they can teach people how to deal with emotions and stuff like that there. So this is very important. So they can feel very exposed when sharing their emotions with people. So they don't want that. So they keep secrets and hold it in a lot. But they don't do good holding in. So they have to put it through expression, be creative with it. They have to put it into some type of work, music, arts, or something. Even cooking, food, anything that's creative. So when Lilith Square the Moon, they reflect a lot. Reflect. Emotions, they react quick. And sometimes they reactions come out of nowhere. They all defensive, thinking somebody out to harm them and get them, and it's nothing going on. Because this is wild, untamed female energy. And they refuse to conform to the norm or the average. So they can rebel, be very rebellious like nature against things. So with that being said, we got to understand that they got a tendency to deny their emotions or suppress it, just because they try to maintain their freedom and not be so emotional. But it's best for them to release it. So they also can have difficulty in expressing themselves, and they hate to feel vulnerable. So it's best for these people to release their emotions so they can have personal freedom. They'll feel like they're more freedom once they release their emotion. And through their experience when dealing with their emotions, they can feel more free, not only free, but also they can spread wisdom. So this get them psychic gifts of clairsentient or what they feel, empath ability, of course. And so they got a powerful emotional reaction, but this can help their personal growth. With this being said, self-awareness is needed, balance is needed, and sometimes therapy, like talking to other people, therapy can be like them doing therapeutic things like spiritual baths, gemstones, and also counseling, like getting advice from others, who's positive, who uplifting, who they seek their deepest, who they kind of admire or look up to. So people with this type of energy, once they tap into it, they can have they can be one of the most realist and solid people on the planet once they learn how to control or check their emotions. And this is very important and powerful placement. So that being said, don't be afraid to express yourself or be vulnerable, especially to those you love or who love you, because this can help. And you can feel free. You don't have to hide it, your emotions, and suppress it. And you can teach through what you learn. So with that being said, the female energy that's within you can release it and be satisfied once you learn about how emotion work and align it. And you can be one of the most powerful person on the planet, especially when it comes to counseling. You can be a counselor yourself or a therapist yourself. So with that being said, that's all said. When Lilith square to Venus, when your dark emotion is square to Venus. Now, Lilith is the subconscious. It already deal with the dark emotions. So when it dealing with love, which is Venus and beauty, it use its beauty, its charm, its love to get what it wants. It makes you, gives you the power to manipulate. So your self-worth is very important, and self-expression. You need that. If you don't, just imagine what kind of disaster it can be. You need social interaction, beauty of all kinds, so you can use that to manipulate. So intimate relationships matters too. So this placement here, when you're talking about Lilith square to Venus, there can be a lot of sexual attraction to other people, but also a romantic attraction between you and whoever. And this might not even be, you might not even love the person like mentally, emotionally, it might be sexually, but you're so attracted because this give you a struggle with Venus, with love, so it's more sexual. It give you, so it turns to love. So also you can be into love and hate relationships or a lust and love relationship. Like you don't want to love nobody if there's no sex. You need sex, so use that manipulate your partner. So this type of person you can be, and you feel sexually attracted to your partner, regardless if your partner don't give you the emotional flair, the mental flair is more sexual, physically. But also, you can fantasize about sex a lot, emotionally, mentally, and you can think that's spiritual to you because Lilith struggles with Venus, it struggles with love, it struggles with relationships, struggles with beauty. So this will give you the ability to use that to manipulate. So now you want to use this to try people, like try other people when they have sex with some of everybody, because now you're thinking that sex is the way. So this also can make you want to cheat on your partner, or vice versa, make people want to cheat on you because you're out of control. You try to manipulate your partner with sex, and you can use that when y'all have your highs and lows and ups and downs. You can go through struggles in your relationships, but you can use sex to manipulate. So this could be a battle of will powers, you and your partner. You know, it could go both ways. You play a lot of mind games and desire games with them, and you can use that to manipulate them, control them, but also they can use that to manipulate you and control you. So cheating, all that could play a part. You could blame your partner for cheating. Next thing you know, you cheating. This is my placement right here, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, the struggle for the sexual is very powerful. And so the thing with this placement is that in a relationship, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you can act cold, or you can act distant, or you can act like you withdraw from your partner, or you can change your mind about wanting a relationship all the time. First you say, I want a relationship, then you say, I don't. Keep changing your mind. Because that's what Lilith Square Venus brings, people. I have this placement, I understand it. And I had to master this placement. And so sexuality is very important to you because you need the pleasures. You feel you need the pleasures until you learn how to control it. I'm going to tell you how to control it in a moment. So the Venus person or your lover who's in love with you, they don't want to commit with you or be loyal to you because they feel like they can't trust you because you're unpredictable. Your emotions go up, down. And you don't want to reveal your emotions. You want to act cold so they can't really feel you sometimes. This is crazy because this is how other relationships begins, where they cheat on you or cheat on them. So advice for you, because you know people with this placement got Lilith Square Venus, they struggle with their excessive thoughts and emotions, their desires, their lust for the other person, or other people in general. They struggle, even the person really like them or not, they might fantasize or always think of them or like the idea of love or sex. So so the advice for you is to put it into self-care, put it into yourself. Don't worry about your partner so much. Put it into yourself, put it into writing, put it into creativity, put it into acting, like write about sex, write about relationships, write about love. And this is how you win with this placement. Because now you're trying to love yourself. Once you love yourself, you don't have to worry about nobody else loving you, or using sex to manipulate, or using love for the wrong thing, or having highs and ups and downs, not knowing if you want the person or not. Because once you love yourself, you will love the other person. You'll know how to love the other person. So I had to do that. I had to love myself so I can know how to love people. So you can give people advice on romance and sexual experiences and love, and about being obsessive over people. You can give advice on that type of stuff. So putting into self-care, improving yourself is the way you can deal with this placement. Because your thoughts are very excessive when it comes to this type of energy and relationship. Sometimes your partner don't know where they at when messing with you. They be so attracted to you, but you turn them off, turn them on, and it can be you feel cold to them. So this being said, that's all I have to say with this placement here. Love yourself, put energy into yourself, and don't worry about your partner, and things will work out. And that way you stay committed and loyal and everything else to your partner. Worry more about get yourself right, and you will win. Lilith opposition to Neptune. When you got Lilith opposition to Neptune, Neptune is spiritual, it's dreamy, it's deep emotions. And so when Lilith is in this state, it's supposing that Lilith don't want to deal with that. Lilith want to do what it want. Lilith gonna run around here and want to deceive and be in an illusional state, escapist, and think Lilith want to say, I'm the powerful source. Ain't nobody can stop me. I'm unstoppable. Instead of little realizing its spiritual essence of really what it really is. So little got to realize that it's spirit and that flesh is temporary. So when Lilith is opposition to Neptune, this right here deals with unhealed wounds, people who've been traumatized, and people who started to love it. They feed into it. They fall into the delusion of it. So to heal yourself, you have to know yourself. When they say know thyself, for this placement here, once you know yourself, you can be the healer yourself. Not only heal your own wounds, you can be a healer yourself and heal others. Because this energy here is very powerful. It's a spiritual energy, subconscious. It deals with the subconscious, Neptune. So when Lilith overturn these traumas, it gives you the ability, the psychic gifts to read people, to know people also. So even though you thinking that anger is it, being into a rage, staying into your emotional fantasy world is it, you have to come down to earth. When you know yourself, you come down to the earthly plane and balance it out. And you got to confront your reality and face it. And this is how you win. You got to face self-delusions. And this will help heal your deep emotional wounds. So you might like troubled people or toxic people because you might find that attractive. Deceptive people attractive. Might be around them a lot. And if they project this energy on you, you might project it in your relationship and run your partner off. But also you might mess with a person of that statue of position, which means they can be toxic, just like you. Now y'all going back and forth, fighting. So that being said, to win this, you have to transform yourself, because you can transform yourself on a deeper level than most, your shadow self. Yes, because you got to understand that this is a very powerful placement. It deal with dreams. It deal with illusions. So it deal with art. It's creative. It's beautiful. It's charming. But the way you might see beauty in a different way, being rebellious, trying to always fight for your freedom, being independent, might use sex as your beauty and indulge in all these pleasures that can tear you down, that creates tension. So you have to balance this emotion out by knowing yourself. You overcome fears, desires, and you learn to express yourself. Once you learn to express yourself, your emotions, because it's very deep, this is how you win. Because you got Lilith treat Neptune like an enemy. So the way Lilith treat Neptune, Lilith want to be on the dark side. And Neptune want to be spiritual and want to understand the spiritual nature. So once you understand yourself and bond with Neptune, not to fight against it no more, after war, it becomes peace and unity and harmony. This is how you win. This is how you win, because then you become the most attractive person, most beautiful person, most creative person, And also you have spiritual awakening because you had discovered yourself. So self discovery means a lot. And it's free you from illusions. And it integrate your personal growth, your healing, and your spiritual evolution. So by you tapping into this energy, by you confront your illusions, by you breaking down your subconscious patterns and understanding it and coming in tune with it and stop fighting against it and warring against it and coming in harmony, this how you win. And this how you heal. And this how you defeat your illusional self. So Lilith, you can win with this placement when you know yourself. You got to know thyself and use divine principles and concepts is how you win with this placement. You become the most psychic person on earth, read everything around you, and you don't have to indulge into being an alcoholic or being so earthly, so material. And you can, when you know yourself, you feel a sense of purpose, a sense of why I'm here. Is the ultimate truth is spirit. So with that being said, you understand your divine nature. The dark side, you could transform it into pure light, like purple light, ultraviolet rays light, high vibrational light that can heal not only yourself but others all around you. So this right here is a very powerful placement because you only get caught up in the sexity of this placement. You only get caught in the illusion of this placement. You only get caught so deep into that. You could turn sex into something spiritual. And don't look at it as bad. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Don't be ashamed of your emotions. Don't be ashamed of nothing. And then you will understand that toxicity ain't good for you. You understand the beauty side of life, not the ugly side. So that's when Lilith bond with Neptune, not oppose it or fight it. Good for you to connect with nature. It's good for you to connect with nature. Work on accepting yourself for who you are. And find ways to communicate, express yourself. It's good to be in tune with all the elements. Water, that's a very important element. Earth, air, the sun, and nature. Being out of nature all helps. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm out.